Hi, I'm Timothy Alexander White, your Master of Ceremonies and host for Festival at Sea 2014 and BlueTube Television, along with my co-host, Karwanna Dyson. And she's here with us tonight. I don't know if you saw her when we talked to Mark Curry, but she sang. She can sing, and she sang an SWV song, which we'll get a chance to talk to them too. But tonight, we're going to talk to a young man who's been here before. He's no stranger to Festival at Sea, and he's going to be playing on the big stage tonight. This is Jon Saxx, and his group is Endless Possibilities, and he's here with us. Jon, welcome back once again, and we're so glad and happy to see you. Such a talented young man, and you've graced us so many times. So how do you feel being back?
Oh, man, you know, this is a family that can always come back to Festival at Sea to enjoy all the festivities and to be the smooth jazz house band. So after this being our 5th year now, we have graduated to the big stage, and it's such a blessing. It feels so good. Sound check was amazing, and we're ready to rock the show.
What has changed since last year, the things that have changed in your life? Are you playing more venues? Have you started on your album? What has changed since we last saw you?
I'm more focusing on the Jon Saxx and Endless Possibility, the brand. And within that brand comes the music. So I'm trying to just focus more on continuing to keep myself out there in the public eye, continuing to perfect my craft. Being laid off as an engineer with Johnson & Johnson, you know, my concentration, I went to school for 6 years to be an engineer, and that's what was the build-up to become an engineer. So once I got laid off, I had to regroup, start from the bottom, and build this brand up that I have started. And so I think that Festival at Sea has been the foundation of that. It's given us 3,000 people to play for every year, and every year we come back, we try to give a bigger and better show. We try to brand bigger. We try to have T-shirts. We try to have better CDs. We try to have better quality of music. We try to increase our playlists, and we really just try to take our audience outside of the box so that they just love what we do.
So you already know that Jon Saxx and Endless Possibilities, you guys are like family to us, and you know we're honored to have you here with us every single year. You guys are awesome, and so we're so excited about seeing you on the big stage this year. And also, what I wanted to know from you is, how does it feel to have so much love from the Festival at Sea family, and how does that affect your career outside of the ship?
That's a good question, because I look at Festival at Sea as family, and I'm treated as family. I mean, my own family, I think this year we have about 24 of my family members here. So when I can be adopted by a family as well as have my family share together, so it's like two intermixing of two different families, it feels great, and it makes you really step your game up, because those people are the people that are going to hold you down regardless. And, you know, for me, it's important to always try to impress my family, because, you know, all you've heard all your life is, well, how was the show, Mom? Well, it was okay, it was cool. Now it's to that level where I have to make sure that every time I hit that stage, it's a bigger and better show, something different, something unique, just because I like to keep not only my fans and my friends, but my family on their toes. I like for them to be surprised as well.
As I watch you, the way you dress, your style, I know you pay attention to detail. We were waiting to film you the other day, and I noticed the care that you take in your clothing, the cufflinks, the watch, the shoes, everything. Everything looks brand new. You know, I don't. This is brand new. You got this today, right? You always pay attention to detail. I know that's part of building your brand, and it seems as though that's important to you. So you see other artists and other entertainers. So tell us about why you dress this way versus just somewhat, you know, real casual, or, you know, did you have jeans when you were growing up in school, or was it always this way?
You know, if my friends from college was to see this interview, they would flip out, because in college it was jeans, t-shirt, sweatpants, and t-shirt forever, and there's no dressing up. But growing up in the family that I grew up in, you had to be clean on Sunday. You know, my father wears suits all the time. My grandfather wears suits and hats all the time. And so I think it just rubbed off to, you know, watch the men in your family always dress up for church, always have a nice tie on, a nice suit. And growing up in Cincinnati, going to our jazz festivals, I was listening to the Ohio Players, Frankie Beverly and Mays, and they were always clean. When they performed, they was always clean. Their band was always clean. So for me, I just wanted to adopt that style and then take it to another level. Coming from Miami and being exposed to different diverse cultures, and actually living in Detroit and working for General Motors for a year, I kind of retro went back to, you know, I like the gator tails. I live in Florida, so the gator tails is cool. And once I found a tailor, actually yeah, you know, and my tailor, he's it's the shout out to the Ritz there in Oakland. He's my tailor, and basically I just allow him to do what he wants to do. I say, look, man, I'm a musician. I like it nice and classy, but I like it to have a pop to it, and he just comes up with the designs. I just kind of leave it to him. But if you're gonna do it, I want to do it the right way, and I want to do it classy way. I want to be able to be a global brand and not just a local brand. So, you know, if Coca-Cola wants me, or if Joel Osteen wants to hire me, you know, which is, you know, some of these clients I already have, I just want to make sure I give the best presentation.
So I know that GMAC Productions is coming up with they're going to do an event sometime this year in October, and you're going to be a part of that. It's a breast cancer awareness program. Tell us about that. Give us those dates, and you're going to be performing there. That's in the Bay Area, right?
Exactly. This will be Saturday, October 25th at Treasure Island in San Francisco. It'll be featuring Christopher Williams as well as myself. From what I was told, there will be some other guest artists to be confirmed, but for sure it would be myself and Christopher Williams. We're looking forward to it. This started in 2010 by GMAC Productions, and it's something that has grown, that started in his backyard and has grown to where we have to go and get a public venue, and it's going to be amazing. And we realize that breast cancer is bigger than us. We are just vessels trying to spread that awareness and make sure that these women as well as men are getting checked up and being aware of what's going on in our society.
Let's talk about your inspiration for saxophone. Why the saxophone versus any other instrument, and do you play any other instruments?
The saxophone for me is something I heard in the 4th grade. Coming up in grade school, taking music was a class that you had to take. And when I went to that particular assembly, I heard the saxophone. I automatically fell in love with it. There's just something about it. And you know, as I grow in my career, I start to realize that the saxophone is the closest thing to the human voice. And I think that's why I loved it so much, coming from church background roots, and you singing that sister go up there singing Amazing Grace, and it's just so, she just shuts it down. And I think that's the main reason why. And the other instrument that I play currently is called an EWI, electronic wind instrument. It's and the way I utilize it is for the like Zappa and Roger talk box type of feel. So if you see it, it's very unique, it's very different. But as a saxophone player, I just want to give another element to the show that you wouldn't normally expect for a saxophone player. Yeah.
So if you weren't playing saxophone, what other business would you? Said you went to school to be an engineer, yeah. And if you had to stop playing saxophone tomorrow, would you go back to being an engineer? Or is there anything else that you found to be interesting that would spark your interest in doing?
That's a good question, because I loved engineering. I mean, the only reason why I stopped engineering because they laid me off, so I had to figure it out. But I would probably go back to engineering. I mean, I was a very good plant manager. I was the manufacturing engineer in charge of stents for the heart and coils for the brain on the medical device side. So yeah, I would do that, no question. I mean, it comes easy to me. It's fun. I'm still allowed to be creative and still do what I want to do. So I would go back into engineering. But I think with music, it's just, for me, it comes so natural, and there's so many different avenues that I can go into. So for me, I really love it. It's not work for me.
Oh, okay.
So aside from your musical talents, and are there any other things or aspirations that you're looking to do, like maybe writing a book or teaching classes or anything else like that?
Yes, actually, I'm in the making now. It's called When I Grow Up. It's a 501c3 charity which focuses on trying to bring the live element of music back into the schools. And I'm trying to develop it so that my live performances will embrace those elements of the art. So I want to grow and become popular and become a common household name, so that a mother or father can bring their son or daughter to my show and say, Mom, Jon Saxx had a female tap dancer in his show. Mom, he had a violin player in his show. He had the Alvin Ailey dancers in his show. He put on a show like Michael Jackson, Circus Soleil.
See the excitement in your
Yeah, I mean, and because if it wasn't for those people inspiring my life when I was in 4th grade, I wouldn't be the musician that I am now. So I want to be popular to just bring awareness back to that live arts, because, you know, you have a lot of musicians out there that are just, they don't know what to do. But you come to a saxophone show or a smooth jazz show and you see a tap dancer, you see an Alvin Ailey dancer. Or, you know, I'm just embracing the elements, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but Michael Jackson's Cirque du Soleil embraces all that. And they're just using Michael Jackson music, and they're just bringing out the different arts.
Well, one last question I have. Because you're going to be on the main stage tonight, It's a different feel, if you will, the main stage. It feels like you've just grown and been promoted and elevated. What's going to be different about you being on the main stage than being in the lobby area? What are you going to do? Is there going to be more energy? You're going to do something different? You're going to climb up the speakers? What's going to happen? She's laughing because of when you saw the Genuine show and he started climbing up the speakers. So,
well, you know, I try to always put together a classy show, but one unique thing about this particular show is we've had 4 years to prepare. We know our crowd. We know what they like. And that's just a benchmark. So we've been benchmarking for 4 years. So now when we go in here, we have a show that we have put together, and it's going to be off the chains. And my shoes are still asleep, so I got to wake them up in the room in a minute so I can put them on. But just like I said with anything else, it's the Jon Saxx experience. Expect the unexpected.
Now, I've seen you wear gators and snake and crocodile. You don't put them all in the same closet, right? We don't want them to start fighting,
No,
right?
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, that's Jon Saxx. I'm Timothy Alexander White. This is Karwanna Dyson. You've been watching BlueTube Television, and we'll have more coming your way.